How's everyone doing out there? We're going to have a great show tonight, so stay tuned. Yes, that's right, folks. We're going to have a great show. So, welcome everyone to my Instagram. I'll also be sharing this to my YouTube channel. So, if you're watching on YouTube, hey, this was on Instagram a while back ago. So, hey, ZZ Talk, what's going on? Welcome. So, tonight we have an excellent show lined up. And thank you for joining. Cigar Fett, what's up? Purple Lady, what's going on? It is after work cigar time, but this time it's one of my special shows. So it's a scheduled show. So we'll get started in just a few moments as we let everyone get logged in and connected and all that good stuff. So hope everyone is smoking, chilling. Ash with Ash, Cigar Guy 64, what's up, guys? Oh, we're just chilling, smoking. We're about to get started here in just a few minutes with the show, as soon as my guest gets all connected on. Nico Z, what's up, man? Gurkha Warrior, what's up? Hey, Purple A, we're about to get going. There we go. All connected up. Azer, what's going on? Well, welcome everyone. Tonight's special show. Yes, that's right. I have someone from Gurkha Cigars tonight. Someone a little bit different, and I mean that in every sense of the word. You guys are saying, hey, what's up, Big Mike? Well, hey, I got Big Ethan from Gurkha Cigars. What's up, Nico? Hey, we're going to have a great show. A lady, hello she's out there in Ohio. So, everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining, Sir Louis, Jam, everyone else. Thank you so much. I'll try to agree as many as possible, but you guys know the format of the show. I have a special guest tonight. We'll go through a few different things and, some good information, as well as we'll have a few surprises we'll mention in just a little bit. So, everyone, thank you for joining tonight. I have with me Ethan Youngblood. He is the regional sales rep for Gurkha Cigars for basically the South down here in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. So, without further ado, yes, that's Ethan right here. And, it's funny, like you said, you can't tell necessarily, but he's a big dude too. So, he's one of the guys I've known for a long time now. We've smoked many cigars, even before he was with Gurkha. We've been friends. We talk about cigars. We talk about football. It's primarily what we talk about. But as you guys know, I am a pretty narrow swim lane on those kinds of topics. So, anyway, I want to introduce Ethan from Gurkha. Ethan, how you doing?
Doing good, Mike. How are you?
Good. Smoking cigars and chilling and getting to meet and speak with all of my favorite folks out in the cigar industry. As you guys know, I've been watching my show for a little bit. My show is largely driven by people I know or I really like in the cigar industry so far. So Ethan is certainly one of my favorite folks out there. And he's been with Gurkha Cigars for a little while now. And so we'll let Ethan tell us about himself a little bit. Ethan, tell us what you do and how you do it.
Well, so everyone, I'm the regional sales manager, as Mike said. We got 4 states, based out of Fort Worth, Texas, same as Mike. I've been with the company at the start of my 3rd year. So just go into the different stores, let them know, talk about our products, tell them, how good they are, how they fit different palettes. Just do that basic cigar education, do the sales, make sure they've got what they need. Basically be the grease between the wheel of the company and the storefronts where you get your products from.
Yeah. And, I think a lot of people kind of have a general idea if that's what sales guys do for Gurkha. And I mean that. Sales guys, generic. You guys know I'm from Michigan. I say guys for men and women alike. But tonight's show, we're going to talk about a couple different topics. We're going to talk about a little bit about Gurkha Cigars, obviously. I mean, I got the Gurkha guy here, but I'll also talk about some of the factories they use, which I think is a very interesting concept. Since they're not vertically integrated, they have other folks make their cigars. And so I think it's a really interesting way to look at some of their products. On top of that, as Ethan and I were discussing by him being on the show, I've had some reps on my show before. You guys have met them. And I think we all see reps hang out, smoke cigars, and a lot of people think that's all they do. So we're going to talk about what are some misconceptions about what's like being a sales guy for any cigar company. We'll keep some of those things as somewhat generic sense. From my experience dealing with different sales folks and different companies, some of these things that he'll tell you will be true with 90% of the cigar companies. So, but first we thought, we'll talk a little bit about cigars we're smoking. I am smoking last year's release, the San Miguel from Gurkha. And this is a nice, what I would consider a medium-bodied cigar. Very smooth, got some nice, it's a great spring and summer cigar. I think the tones really go well with the kinds of things you'll be doing in the summertime, hanging outside, with some of the lighter beverages and so forth that you'll have in the summertime. I think this is an excellent cigar for that occasion. And what are you smoking, Ethan?
I'm smoking a Heritage Maduro, which is also a Nicaraguan-made cigar, one of our other factories at American Caribbean Cigars. It is a medium to medium plus Maduro. It's definitely on the lighter side of most Maduros. So it's just if you want to experience like Maduro flavor without Maduro strength of what other brands offer, this is a great offering. So I definitely think it's a good cigar for people to try. Especially if you want to actually see what Maduro can be if it's not powered with Ligero and stuff underneath to make it stronger and more full-bodied than the leaf actually is. Common misconception that Maduro is strong. Maduro, the leaf, is actually a very sweet, medium-bodied leaf, not a powerful leaf itself.
Absolutely. Big ashes, and I see a few other people join. I have Ethan from Gurkha Cigars talk to us about some different cigars, and I think that's a great point. Ethan and I actually use a somewhat similar way of looking at cigars as far as kind of evaluating and sharing information. You guys have heard me say before, I categorize cigars mild to medium, medium full, and then sometimes you've heard me say medium plus, and that's kind of that land between medium and medium full. And certainly I agree with Ethan on the Heritage Maduro. I think it's medium plus. It could be medium for some people. It might be just on the low side, medium full for those of you that are very much mild smokers. But I think that's an excellent point. Not all Maduros are super full body. That is a common misconception. I think that a Maduro, first two, they think Maduros are generally very, very strong, and also that a Maduro is a kind of leaf, like a Corojo seed, and those kinds of things. So, and indeed, it's not. So, we'll talk about those kind of things. And again, and he mentioned ACC. You guys heard me talking about some ACC cigars the other day. I love the factory. They make some beautiful cigars that fit my flavor identity really well. This one is made by whom?
That's an Aganorsa made product, San Miguel. And so the San Miguel is also good. There are a couple other, I think, people that are going to enjoy that cigar. If you're kind of a transition smoker, you're thinking that you want to try something outside of Connecticut, that's a good cigar to try because it's a nice shade-grown Crow 99 wrapper. It's not a Ligero or a Viso. It's more of a Seco grade wrapper, meaning it's not as strong. So that's going to be a great wrapper for you to try as a transition cigar. Or if you've had several full-bodied cigars and you're trying to, kind of wrap up your night and want to have something on the more, mild to medium side, that's a good cigar to finish because it will still have enough flavor to cut through if you've had a couple fuller-bodied cigars throughout the day. So certainly a good cigar in the evening as well.
Yeah, which is, as you guys know, I really enjoy a more, as the night goes later, I generally prefer a little bit more of a mild medium cigar versus my standard stronger cigars. I would say I prefer. I mean, earlier today I already had a Gurkha Nicaragua series, and then I had another fuller bodied cigar from another manufacturer. So again, this is a great candidate. I can still enjoy the savoriness of the Aganorsa leaf itself, and then as well as it's not going to keep me all cranked up on Little Hero later. So that's an important quality for those of us who have to be up way early than some others. So yeah, we're going to talk about the Heritage. Also, ACC makes a few different cigars for Gurkha. So I know they make, like, for example, the Havana Legend, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Which is another cigar that I think is a great transitional cigar. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's an interesting way of looking at it because, some people want to graduate from a more mild Connecticut cigar to something the next step. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the Havana Legend, along with a few other Gurkhas, are excellent candidates for that because, again, that starts slowly squeezing up into a more
Right.
medium body cigar. The Vinyl Legend, I would still categorize me personally in that mild to medium category. It's not really medium. It's, in my opinion, it's very mild to medium. And I've had great success recommending that cigar to folks who want that kind of next step. And also, it has a very friendly price point, which is another, I think, excellent point.
There's a good reason for it. Yeah, I mean, $7.50 MSRP for the Toro, you know, $7 for the Robusto. So I mean, if you're looking for something approachable, transition into trying something that's not a true mild Connecticut, that's got more flavor, but it's not going to have the nicotine to knock you back. You know, Havana Legend's a great cigar for that.
It also comes in a cool box, has a magnetic lid that I think is really cool. And then also, that was one of the blends that Juan Lopez, you guys saw him on my show earlier, the VP of sales over at Gurkha Cigars. He was one of the people that was directly involved with developing that blend. Juan, of course, is Cuban himself. And as such, he does have a strong preference for that medium, smooth, kind of silky quality to a cigar. And therefore, this certainly fits a very medium-bodied, smoother cigar that's not going to, I consider it a good cigar for a lot of people. Friends who are, if you need cigars for it to function, I think that fits a great. Because everyone, if I came to an event and my friends all had Vinyl Legends for me to smoke, I'd be fine with it. It's got enough flavor. If you're a mild guy, it's not going to be so strong that you can't smoke it. So
That's a good point. And at least for that kind of group, it's kind of the perfect box. You're not spending $200 on a box for half the guys to smoke half the cigar and trash it.
yeah, and some of you guys have wondered, how do I balance my cigars? I buy cigars like that, the Havana Legend and some of the others in his line, in Gurkha's line, as well as, of course, other brands. But, yeah, because you have to have those smokes. Of course, you guys know I was smoking that Cellar Reserve 18 the other day. It's a beautiful cigar, and I'll let Ethan tell you about how the Cellar Reserves are broken up by manufacturer.
Yep. So Cellar Reserve 12 is also made at ACC, American Caribbean, same as the Heritage. And then when you go to Cellar 15, 18, 21, and the Limitada Maduro, those are all made at Cuevas, which is a Dominican factory that we use. So that's why if you smoke like a Cellar 12 and you really enjoy it, but you smoke a Cellar 15 and you feel like, man, this cigar is really different, well, they are really different. They're made at different factories. And one is predominantly Dominican tobacco and the other one is predominantly Nicaraguan tobacco. And so that's going to greatly change the way that cigar smokes. And if you're not necessarily a huge Nicaraguan tobacco fan, and more of a Dominican tobacco fan, you're really going to enjoy, that Dominican tobacco better or that Nicaraguan tobacco better.
Right. Certainly, if you want like a silky smooth experience, and a cigar I often recommend for celebration is the Gurkha Cellar Reserve 21. It's very, very smooth. It's on the milder side of the equation, but has those kind of traditional notes, I would say, of the region. And, just the easiest smoke, has that slight hints of cocoa, is certainly the cigar that you would want in that kind of relaxing kind of mode. It's a very rewarding experience. It's one of those cigars. And you guys, when I was discussing Cuban cigars the other day, in my mind, there's a handful of cigars out there. Obviously, this one from Gurkha, some others from other manufacturers that are what I feel like in our minds as Americans, what Cubans should be like, and also what they really should be like, because the quality of Cuban suffers greatly these days. So the Cellar Reserve 21 is a Cuban-esque cigar, in my opinion. You're going to get that mild smoothness to it with that little hint of cocoa, and it's a beautiful cigar. So you guys know I've smoked those before. I've smoked them on the show. It's not just because Big Ethan, who's a foot taller than me, is saying, he likes them. So, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad reason, but,
They are an excellent cigar. I enjoy them a lot myself. I think that, they're a cigar that you can have in the morning, but also a cigar you can enjoy later in the day. Excellent gift cigar. I mean, the packaging on them is great. The band is really super nice. That perfecto shape with the nipple foot is also a great presentation point. Same as it is in most of our Cellar Reserve line. We do have a couple of Parejo shapes, meaning just a Toro or a Robusto shape. But, that's an excellent cigar to enjoy or to give as a gift because, again, as Mike said, it's not too strong for anybody to, really anybody can enjoy that cigar and feel, special as they smoke it.
Hammer has help. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you guys want to talk about, you hear Ethan speaking. He certainly knows his stuff when it comes to cigars. He's certainly one of the people that I hang out with and talk about cigars. We'll talk about cigars. Hopefully, his boss isn't watching this. We'll talk about cigars from other manufacturers, which I think is actually a strong point of a good rep, because you have to know what other companies are doing so you can really relate your product to the correct experience. I mean, I think that's very important. When I'm hanging out in shops, I ask people, "What do you like?" Because if you like really spicy cigars, and then I recommend the Gurkha Cellar Reserve 21, yeah, that's not going to make any sense. It's not spicy at all. It's like I said, it is what it is. Very different. And same thing, if you like a super spicy cigar, then hey, we're going to find something there for you. But as we all know, my favorite Gurkha out there, I think everyone on the show knows that by now, is the Nicaragua series. Right? I smoked one earlier. I posted. I was smoking one at lunch. And who is that made by?
As an Aganorsa product as well.
Exactly. You guys know I love chasing those factors. That's why a company like some of the other ones I've had on my show, as well as Gurkha, really appeals to me because, look, do I think Gurkha makes all winners across every line? No, I'm not a fan of some. That's the honest truth. Others I buy heavy into, and certainly that Nicaragua series Aganorsa made. And as well, they have some cigars that Gurkha represents that you guys may not be aware of that are also made by Aganorsa. So I'll let you.
Yeah, and so the last cigar that goes into the Aganorsa is the Trenta, our 30th anniversary that we debuted 2 years ago. It's probably the most complex product that we have made at Aganorsa. Both San Miguel and Nicaragua series are both puros, meaning they are made 100% with Aganorsa Nicaraguan tobacco. The Trenta is slightly different. It's got an Ecuadorian Habano Rosado wrapper on it. It's sourced from one of the top growers down there, so it's just an excellent cigar wrapper. It gives great flavor, but it's going to add a level of complexity that you don't get in a puro. There's only so much flavor that you can get from a single country of origin cigar. It's going to pick up a lot of similar notes. It's going to have those 2-3 strong flavors that go the whole length of the cigar and really work well. But if you go to, like, say, the Trenta, you'll see some transition points, have 2 to 3, 4 different flavors. Slots in between the San Miguel and the Nicaraguan series in terms of strength. But very good flavor, very good balance. We've got some excellent ratings from some of the different review sites and made some different things. So it's certainly a great cigar and one worth trying. Good price point, $10.50 for the Toro, depending on your state tax, of course. But
yeah. For those of you who are watching from New York and LA and California and places like that, look, we're speaking
sorry.
from Texas prices, as we all know. But yeah, they are generally a good price point. It would be scalable to probably a decent price point for wherever you may live with your tax rates. But the Trenta has a nice.
If you buy on a website in Texas.
Well, yeah, there's that too. Yeah, so my boys, you guys, we've offered different deals like through Paladin Cigars and a few other places that carry those cigars. Again, you get our prices shipped to your door. So, the Trenta is another cigar I smoke quite a bit. It has a nice kind of spicier note to it. It has a certain richness through the cigar, and it really picks up in the second half. And it's both in its intensity and in that rich aspect. So I think for those of you who are really into a complex flavor and finding out all those nuanced flavors, I think that the Trenta would certainly meet your requirement on that. Me, I like a little bit bolder cigar, and so therefore for me, the Nicaragua series makes a lot of sense. It is probably, in my opinion, the strongest Gurkha cigar. And Gurkha, I think that's another misconception. A lot of people, Gurkha, because it has this kind of imposing sounding name with somewhat aggressive names like the Ghost and things like that lends itself to think, oh, wow, these are all like, full-bodied monsters. And in fact, as you guys saw when Juan was talking about him, he feels that Gurkha is very much that mild to medium kind of company. And I would generally agree with that statement. I would say that most of their product line hovers that mild to medium, low end, medium full category. And you can find those different brands, again, learning from your local rep, in my case, Ethan, as well as anyone else, myself. They have the official ambassador and things like that you can speak with. And again, you'll be able to find which brands fit your flavor profiles, your whatever requirements you have. You can chase that with a company like that versus some others. If you don't like what they grow, well, you're out of luck because that's all they grow, right? So there are brands like that. I just don't really like the way they blend cigars. I don't really like the way they grow their tobacco, and so therefore I just don't really buy a whole lot of their products. And so that's why brands like this that are spread out over multiple factories gives you that opportunity. So the Gurkha Ghost, who's that made by?
The Ghost and the Ghost Gold are both made by Abe Flores out of the Dominican Republic for us. And so we used to have other products that he made, but those are the two currently in production at his factory. The Ghost has got Brazilian Abraca wrapper, Maduro wrapper on it. The Ghost Silver, rather, that is the original one that's been out. It's got, high smoke content. It's actually surprisingly medium bodied. It's not a super strong nicotine strength cigar. It does have a fuller, rich, dark flavors to it. And so that is sometimes a misconception is dark cigar, super full bodied, super strong in nicotine, whereas the nicotine content on that is not nearly as strong as some of the other cigars out there, whether you're talking about like LFD or, My Father even, something like that, where it's just like, man, it's dark, strong.
Yeah, and AJ is a cigar we talk about a lot on my show. It doesn't have that kind of power, despite having a name like Ghost, and it's dark, it's oily. It is a bold-looking cigar, and certainly bold in flavor, but not in intensity. So the Ghost, I think, is a great candidate. You guys saw me smoking the other day a PDR cigar that was super, super smoky, and Abe hopped on and said hello. He has that quality to a lot of the cigars that he likes using that Brazilian Abraca that generates that copious amounts of smoke, which is very important to me. So we've kind of talked about some of the different factories. We've hit on some of those cigars. We discussed Gurkha actually represents another company.
We do. We also distribute Sindicato Cigars. Sindicato is made at a collection of, two factories for us, Aganorsa being one. And then the other factory is Noxa, which is a little bit of a lesser-known factory in Nicaragua, very well regarded within the industry. They're owned by the Oliva Tobacco family, which is one of the largest tobacco brokers in the world. So they certainly have access to incredibly, very, very good tobaccos, whereas Aganorsa is one of the largest growers in Nicaragua. And so they have, farm to seed, or rather seed to smoke cigars that they are making that are, also of very good quality, but have a little bit more distinctness. Aganorsa is predominantly known for Corojo 99 tobacco, which is a hybrid seed of Corojo tobacco. And then also they are well known for Criollo 98, which is a different, seed varietal that they've really perfected the growth of.
Yeah, and so, we've had Aganorsa on my show before. We all know I love Aganorsa products. And, I smoke a lot. A lady in her cigar, I was on her show, she asked me, she goes, wow, you smoke a lot of Sindicatos. Yeah, I do. Why? I like Aganorsa, which makes a lot of their products. For example, so I'll let Ethan name the factory, and I bet we see some commonality amongst most of the ones I like. I like most of the Sindicatos, but there are some that I smoke with more regularity than others. So let's play this game.
Maybe I can just go ahead and guess. Sindicato Maduro 1. Strongest one that they make. San Andreas Maduro wrapper leaf. And then it's underneath you're talking about Aganorsa double binder filler, which is it's definitely the strongest cigar between Sindicato and Gurkha that is made. Very rich, very full bodied. Definitely for that experienced smoker who wants it. That guy right there. Definitely his cigar. And then as far as, the other ones goes, he likes the Particulares, which is kind of a sneaky medium cigar. It's got quite a bit of nicotine on it because it comes from Aganorsa. It's got some stronger nicotine tobaccos in it, even though the flavor of the cigar is very medium to medium plus. But it's something where you just need to kind of understand what you're getting into. Either need to have had some food in your stomach, be a very seasoned smoker who can handle a lot of nicotine, or, just maybe drink a Coke while you're having it, put some sugar down in your stream so you're not, getting kind of lightheaded and, feeling that nicotine too hard. And then, really his other favorite would be the Cubico, which is made at Noxa. It's a Ecuadorian Cubano wrapper that is used on that cigar. It's medium plus, has got really good depth of flavor, a little bit of a woodsy note, but a touch of spice, just great flavor to it. It's a very complex cigar, nice square press on it. And so, it kind of fits it in, as you know, with Mike, 6x60s all the way.
Absolutely. In fact, what's unique about the Cubico, as the name implies, most box presses are rectangular in their presentation, but not the Cubico. It is actually square. I mean, it's a pretty good square, too. I mean, it's not the sharpest box press I've seen out there. There are some that really take the cake, like you could shave with their edges. But the Cubico has a very pronounced square aspect to it. I mean, if you're a Star Trek fan like I am, I mean, it is some Borg action there. And so I really enjoy it. It's certainly a very, very savory quality to it, a lot of great flavors. Again, if you're someone that's looking for a complex cigar, that is a great candy. And then finally, my favorite, or one of my top favorite Sindicatos, as you guys have seen, go big or go home. The big 770 or the 6470, the Maniac.
He definitely prefers that one now. Maniac is made at ACC. That is the one departure from those two factories. It's made there. It's an interesting blend. The blend used to be something that was made by Toronto Cigars before General purchased them. So it's really an excellent blend, an excellent cigar. Other than the fact, assuming that you can handle that big ring gauge, there is a large Bellicoso that's made, which certainly makes it a little easier so you're not lockjawing a 770 in your mouth. But, that certainly makes that cigar a more approachable angle. I mean, if you want to maybe watch an entire football game and smoke a 770, it's a good option. And they do retail for $8. So it is a exceptional price point.
Yeah, it would be a super popular cigar if it came in a regular Vitola. It's a beautiful, beautiful cigar with nice flavor. And, some mega-sized cigars, those big 770s and so forth, sometimes they get a little cheap on companies as far as putting quality tobacco and filling it up. This cigar has a good weight to it. It is well made. I have had very, very few problems associated with the size of the cigar. Sometimes when you smoke other freak-sized cigars, because they're just packing tobacco in there to make it big, it may burn really wonky or have some really weird flavors develop. Not true with the Maniac. The name itself implies a lot of craziness, but the cigar itself is very serious. It's a real cigar, very, very enjoyable. So definitely something to try if you're open to that size cigar. And Cigar Malt, yeah, he's getting down there and out there in Chile. Yeah, so lots of goodness with Sindicato Cigars. I'm a big fan, especially that Maduro. It is bold. It is bright. It has everything I want. And so, and it has a fairly reasonable price point, too. So that's an important quality. Look, we would love to be able to smoke Cellar Reserves all day, every day. But, those are all in the $12 to $16 range by and large.
About 10.
So you can't smoke.
Start for Cellar 12. Start at 10 for Cellar 12. And then you move up to about 16 for the Cellar 21. But again, it's largely depending on state. I know that people in New Jersey, New York, your California, you're dealing with that. Your local government being real pigs on the cigar side of things.
Yeah, on the tax
instead, you're just hurting your own state with those silly taxes. So unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. So, those are all great specimens of a cigar. But again, finding some that's good, a little bit, daily friendly price points. So, great options there. And you guys wonder, I know a lot of you follow me and ask about how do I remember all these things. Listen to this guy talk. I mean, this guy is 10 times more knowledgeable than I am. And I know you guys think I remember everything. This guy really remembers everything. I mean, so it is quite astounding. So we've talked about the cigars, and that's a great part. But I also wanted to talk to you about being a sales rep. We've joked about before. I know a ton of reps from all over the country, And, the misconception is that, hey, you just get to hang out and smoke cigars. And so, one of the things I want to ask you, what is, you know, first of all, you were a customer before you became a rep for various companies.
Mhm.
What was the biggest kind of difference transitioning from being just a normal consumer, like pretty much everyone on here, to becoming a sales rep?
Well, I think the big thing too is I went in with my eyes wide open. I had a better understanding of what I was walking into, mainly because one of my other good friends has been a broker, which is a rep for multiple companies for 25 years in this territory. So I did have a fairly good understanding of what I was walking into. But as far as, just a change of opinions, I remember when I had a different job, worked an office position, and I would go after work and I'd have cigars and I'd sit there and I'd enjoy and I'd relax. A lot more of that you'll find if you're a rep is you're going to be doing a lot more of your relaxing either in kind of a home shop or, more at actually your house. Just because you're not really, there's really no off duty. I've heard that before where I've heard some reps from smaller companies say, "Oh, I'm just hanging out, I'm off duty." Nonsense. There is no off duty. When you're in a store, you get approached, somebody asks you a question, you're on duty. Store owner comes to you and wants to talk about, making a purchase or doing an event or doing something, you're on duty. There's really no off duty. So I think for some people it can make, cigars are their only relaxation and they like going to a shop and just hanging out and relaxing. It can make that less enjoyable for them. Um, unless they can kind of develop a rapport with a local shop or with, the guys who go to that local shop of like, hey man, I'm just here to hang out. But really, I don't experience much of that. I always go in with the mindset of if they want to talk shop, they want to talk work, they want to talk cigars, on duty. Anytime I walk into a store, I'm ready, willing, and able to go to work, on whatever it is. So it's kind of
Yeah,
an important difference. You just have to change your mindset of, you're not there to hang out. Fundamentally, if they're ready to go and they want to talk shop, they want to work, it's time to go to work. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is, or whether it's a weekend, a Sunday, whatever. You're in a cigar shop, you're a rep, prepared to be prepared to go to work.
yeah, because as Ethan can attest, as many of you know, I'm someone that's out in the cigar world, so to speak. I hang out at various shops. I go to various shops. I'm known at various shops. And, I've run across Ethan both at what we consider our home shops, where we live closest to, and as well as I've run into him at shops when, he's out wherever and I'm out where we have to run into each other. And,
Mhm.
there might be those times where I'm like, hey, he might be in a more laid back mode. And, hey, I want to talk about some of the new Gurkhas that are coming out, and I think some of the folks here would really like them. So, and then, well, you're back on the clock. We're talking about these Gurkhas and when they're going to be available, and all those the price points, all the details you need for sales operation. So, yeah, that is a very true aspect. And but good reps, and Ethan is certainly one of the ones I consider a good rep. Knows how to balance the different kind of conversation pieces about cigars. You go in while he's certainly obviously advocating for a Gurkha cigar. He's also making sure the cigar makes sense for everyone.
Mhm.
Because they have a wide range of products. He's willing to talk about all of them and talk about the pros and cons in relation to other cigars. Because me coming into it, I smoke full-bodied cigars 80% of the time. 70% of the time, let's say. And I like a lot of bright notes. And so, when we're talking about different cigars I would like, uh, you know, sat there and spoke with me about some of the different ones that were coming online, and that really, the Nicaragua series when it came available was one that really won me over. I had smoked the Havana Blend, which is a beautiful box pressed chocolatey kind of cigar. It's made by ACC, and of course, as you guys know, I'm an ACC fan. I told you it's a hidden gem out there, folks. And Havana Blend is certainly a beautiful presentation cigar, but that Nicaragua series, with that Corojo, I love Corojo, Aganorsa, boom, you had me at Aganorsa. And so, having those kind of knowledge pieces to talk about. In fact, as we talk about some of these cigars, it brings up a good point. We do have a bit of a surprise for everyone. I have a great giveaway that I will launch after this video, and I'll tell you about how to get into it towards the end. But long story short, beautiful giveaway. I have a black Gurkha humidor, wooden humidor, real humidor, all set up. It's got 15 Gurkha cigars. I was able to secure 5 of those 15 cigars. You're going to get 5 California exclusive Gurkhas. So if you're not in California, good luck getting them. And so, but now you can. So I got 5 of those. I got another 10 miscellaneous Gurkha and Sindicato cigars mixed in there. A nice little sample pack, because since I don't know who's winning, I can't just make it all whatever you like. So I put a little bit of everything in there. It's got some other Gurkha swag. It also has an exclusive lighter to the southern region that you can only get if you're down here in Texas by and large. So I got one of those for you. So we'll figure out how you got that one. So so that's a great giveaway. It'll be the usual way. We'll talk about it more at the end, but it's a great giveaway with all kinds of neat Gurkha stuff. I want to thank Ethan for providing some of those aspects, and as well as I was able to put together the rest. So all kinds of good stuff in there. So now, other misconceptions about being a cigar rep, right? We know most of us kind of see you in the shops, you or others in the shops, hanging out, doing this thing. You talked about the differences, but what is the single, or at least maybe a top couple misconceptions of being a rep?
I think a lot of people feel like being a rep is sitting in a cigar shop and hanging out, maybe even more like what a brand ambassador does. And there aren't very many brand ambassadors unless, in official capacities where they're actually employed by the company, unless they are working, for a large company with a General Altadis, people like that. So, actually the reality of being a rep is you got a lot of windshield time, in terms of drive time. If you think you want to be a rep, be prepared to, especially in a territory like mine, you're going to be driving.
How many shops do you go to in a day? Average.
Typically it's, anywhere 5 to 6, 5 to 7. That's kind of the expectation, from the company of who you're seeing. Then on top of which, I handle about 150 stores throughout the territory that I have to manage those relationships, whether that's phone, text, email, seeing them in person, having a travel schedule where you're seeing all those accounts, some every month, some every 6 weeks, some every 8 weeks, some every quarter, just kind of depending on where they are. So there's certainly a lot of different aspects that way of what you're looking at. A lot of drive time. For me, it's between, in a non-COVID year, it's between 35 and 40,000 miles a year that you're looking at of driving. I know other guys in my territory who do 55, 60,000 miles. It kind of depends on how you organize yourself, how you can, motivate, get things done. But a big thing is you got to be self-motivated. Don't really have somebody, the company's watching, but, the company's not necessarily, telling you, look, this is the way you got to do it. This is how you got to do it. You're kind of running your own.
Though, folks, some do. Some, I won't name them, but some really do track every mile you take. Like, they know exactly what shop you're at because they have apps on your phone. They know how many shops you're supposed to go. They'll send you a list, all kinds of things. So it varies a little bit in that regard. But certainly you heard, I think, and I agree, that's a big misconception. You're just hanging out in 1 or 2 shops. No, it's a regimen. You're hitting 5, 6, 7 shops. I've talked with Ethan and other reps. Sometimes I'd hit 8. And keep in mind, a lot of shops don't open until like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So you're hitting that from 11 to 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. And then what else do you have to do other than just sell cigars?
Yeah, I mean, you're responsible for everything when it comes to the account, whether that's getting new account paperwork, credit card forms, following up to get payments, any issue that they've got, or that a store has, if they've got, say, they didn't get a box of cigars in their shipment, or they, a cigar was damaged in the box, or any issue they have, regardless of what you think it, may not be the sales rep's job. Everything is my job to do with that account. Events, marketing, um, getting the orders, making sure the orders are right, making sure that everything is sent to them correctly, all that follow up, just anything you can think of that the business might need. It's on my shoulders to interact with the office if that's what it takes to get it fulfilled, and to make sure that they're having a good customer service experience and the proper sales experience.
Yeah, and that brings up a great point. Your hard work allows the rest of us to kick back, smoke cigars, and chill. So, I mean, we do appreciate all the great reps that are out there. Being away from home. I was a road warrior for my line of work for a long time. I know the stressors, and Stronghold has a good point. I'll get to that in just a second. It is a lot of work that I think a lot of people don't realize. You're hitting a lot of stores. You're responsible for making sure payment, or like in some cases, and this happens to every cigar company, you get products that are on back order. It's a good problem to have in certain ways, because that means your product is so popular you can't keep up, and so you have to feel those demands too, and those complaints where some companies, almost all their products are on back order. Fortunately, Gurkha doesn't have that problem nearly that often, but every now and then you do have some stuff on back order, and yep,
Sure.
hey, shops are gonna call you, go, hey, where's my stuff? I want my boxes. And I've been with shops and we've called different reps and go, hey, I don't care what your problem is. My problem is I want that on my shelf right now. And not always entirely reasonable. And obviously, being a sales guy, he's not the guy like Juan, or he's not the guy in Nicaragua or the Dominican or wherever making those cigars. It's not like he has really all that kind of connection. So it is very challenging. Is basically the point I think I want to show, that hey, it's not as easy and laid back as a lot of other reps kind of make it sound. I know a lot of reps. They'll do these shows and say, oh, it's all easy, it's fun, it's cool. But then behind the scenes, they're telling me, because, we're friends, they'll tell me, oh, my God, this is a lot of work, and this or that. So, but that does transition. I always like to leave on a positive note on that topic. So, obviously, every job has its stressors. We mentioned those, or some of the maybe things you didn't anticipate when you got into this line of work. But what are some of the things that you really enjoy or benefit that you have, or what's your favorite thing? However you want to tackle that kind of that direction.
Yeah, I mean, there are several things, lots of positives. I mean, don't let me telling you kind of the realities of debunking misconceptions to make it sound like, oh, this isn't a great job and it's not something super fun. Because it is. There's a lot of, you get flexibility in your day. You get to kind of, at least for me, I get to make my own schedule. Get to have, different flexibility and be able to do different things. Get to try and smoke lots of different cigars as part of my job. Get to try new things from the company, get to try new things from other companies, so I know how to, describe my cigars to compete against those. But that's kind of a fun process. I mean, getting to smoke different people's stuff and be able to tell, my wife, hey, look, I got to try this out because, not just for my enjoyment, but also for, I need to know what this tastes like. Then, also get to work with a lot of great people. I mean, cigar shop owners, retailers, I mean, they're tremendous partners. Love going in, talking to them. I've heard older reps who've been in business and have 20-year relationships with different store owners talk about, what's so awful, I get to go visit old friends that, I just have to drive, to go see those people. And I definitely agree with that. I mean, I've made lots of good friendships and relationships and know people, and it's always fun to go see what's going on with them, go to Louisiana or go to, the Houston area, talk to those different owners, see what's new, see what's working for them, check in, get to talk about family, kids, all that type of stuff. So, I mean, it's sort of like, I also have, 100 friendships, that I go to, you meet different consumers in different markets, you get to talk to them, make friends with them, go out and do different things. So, I mean, there's plenty of positives about the job. It's not a list of like, oh, man, this is all negative. Why would anybody do the job? So, I mean, there are certainly plenty of reasons to do it. I apologize, people. It seems like the ice cream truck's coming down my street.
All right, so we're gonna see Ethan. We're gonna see a big giant grizzly bear looking dude running after the ice cream truck, and that's gonna be the greatest show ever. So, it's funny Ethan mentions that, because I mean, certainly he and I have that relationship. Yep, he's about to take off. Yeah, he and I've had that relationship for a long time now, and in the same sense, he meets people like me in other regions, which is really cool. I've gotten to know a lot of different cigar reps, as I mentioned, and make friends with those folks because you should ever try to take advantage of your friendship with those folks. But Ethan might be in a different region for business, and I'll be like, hey, go check out this store. I think they have this special cigar I'm looking for, and he'll grab me one. And same sense, he'll be looking for something unusual, and because of my connections with the different people, I'm like, I got you, I got that. And it's just a lot of fun to be able to continue that brotherhood and sisterhood of the leaf, to be able to exchange cigars, exchange different ways of looking at cigars, and it's a lot of fun. So, yeah, see, Fed almost took off at the ice cream truck, and he's in New Jersey. That would have been a couple days for him to get to it. So,
I think you said you wanted to see a cigar truck.
yeah, oh, yeah. And Chuck goes, do you ever dread seeing some customers or shop owners? I won't put him on the spot there on that one, but I'm sure, like all of us who deal with the public, that at times there are probably some that are more your favorite than others at times. I've certainly seen it where some people get very aggressive about, bugging about certain things, and it's like, man, the guy hadn't even put down his briefcase yet. Let him sit down for a second. So,
the thing to keep in mind with.
So Abe Flores actually just jumped on. Say hello, Abe. Abe is the principal of PDR Cigars, which we were talking about just a little while ago, the maker of the fabulous Ghost, that smoky Spectre.
Smoky Behemoth. Yeah, that smoky Behemoth he makes for us.
Yeah,
we really
I love it.
He has kept us
all that smoke.
Very well supplied. If you have a shop that doesn't have it, make sure to tell them to order it because we are very in stock. Because thank you, Abe. You have made sure that we are very in stock on that product.
Yeah, and Abe somehow manages to make cigars when he's busy recording records and stuff like that. So that's a little inside joke between Abe. Abe, check out Abe's page. He's got a little rock video he's made, and it's actually pretty decent. So, yeah, the Ghost. And so, yeah, I mean, just on a high level there to answer Kentucky's question, what is probably the biggest challenge when dealing with not so much the shops, but maybe just random customers that sometimes come in?
Yeah, I mean, you certainly get customers who want free cigars. And, unfortunately, that's just not something I can do, or rather any rep can legally do. The FDA has put some guidelines, very strict guidelines on us, that we can only give away a free cigar with the purchase of other cigars of our product. So if you certainly are looking for maybe a better deal on some of our cigars, and you see one of us in the store, feel free to come up and ask us to see if we're offering any special. If our car stock allows, oftentimes we'll do different, promotional deals, a 3-in-1, a 4-in-1, that kind of thing. Or, we may offer, a box discount if we have that many cigars with us, where we can give you, so many cigars with the purchase of a box, or if we have any swag items with us so we can contribute, we can certainly offer things like that. But that's kind of a case-by-case basis. But, I would say just, I don't mind when people ask me for a free cigar. I just let them know I can't do it. Because that's really truly is the case. Is if I get caught by the FDA doing it, I'm facing large fines. The company's facing large fines. So it's just really something that we can't do.
Yeah, and that's why, like, Ethan, he gave me some of the hats and the lighter and some of that stuff like that because he can, versus, I have to go acquire the cigars and stuff like that. So, I don't work for a cigar company, so I can do whatever I want. But, so, that is kind of a unique thing. I've done that with many reps that come in and go, okay, you're there. All right, well, I understand the rules, right? Now we know the rules if you didn't know them before. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to go buy me a box of your cigars. What can you do for me? And sometimes they can't do anything. Okay, well, I understand that. I was going to buy the box anyway. Other times they go, well, I don't have any, when he said card stock, that's the industry standard for industry code word for his samples, right? That he can get to shops. But, I've gotten some of the stuff that's ended up in my giveaways. That's how I got that. Just buy a box and they gave me an ashtray, or buy a box and they gave me a hat or something like that. Well, as we all know, I wear a giant size hat, so almost no hat ever fits me from any cigar company. So that's how stuff like that makes its way. That's how I get some of my stuff. Is I take advantage of those opportunities of buying stuff, and then see if they can sweeten the deal. And if they can't, hey, no harm, no foul. I understand. It's not a guarantee or anything like that, but be nice, ask, see what's up. If they can't do it, don't be mad about it, and just go do whatever you were going to do. So I think that's an interesting point. Certainly a very valid point in the industry. So, which brings us up as time is running out. I told you we're going to have some surprises. So this time, I've dug deep into my stash of stuff. So what we're going to do tonight, all right? So after this video is posted, all that good stuff, I'll have another post. And I'm not only going to give away that grand prize I mentioned earlier, the Gurkha Humidor with 15 cigars, some of them very exclusive, with a lighter, some knives, of course, because it's Gurkha. I'm going to give out some knives. And then some other miscellaneous swag thrown in there. Well, guess what? I'm going to give out 2 prizes. So that's the grand prize. I'm going to have a runner-up prize where I pull a second name out of the hat, and you're going to get one of the Gurkha lunchbox style travel humidors, the little black lunchbox looking things. It says Gurkha on the front, got the foam on the inside and everything. And I'm going to put 10 more cigars in that case. So you're going to get some of those California exclusives, because I want to spread the wealth on that a little bit. And then I'm going to put some other miscellaneous Gurkha Sindicato mixture in there. Again, just kind of a little sampling, some different ones in there for you to try. So that means there's going to be 2 winners. Yes, folks, 2 winners out of my giveaway. So you're going to see that post up here tonight. You're going to do all the usuals. You're going to like the post. You're going to tag and follow me, tag and follow Gurkha Cigars, and then you're going to, in each comment, tag 3 of your friends. Every time you do that, that's going to be an entry, right? Usual rules. If you guys have done my contest before, it's the same thing. There you go. You'll see all the instructions in the next post anyway, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It will run through Sunday morning. Then I'll sit there and do all my work, because it's a lot of work, guys. These giveaways aren't easy, between gathering the stuff. As you see, the different people in the cigar industry have very packed schedules, so getting them on the show. And then, of course, I have to mine the data to get all those names and put into a list so I can have a randomizer select the first name and then the second name. So, yes, 2 people are going to get 2 prizes. Or, no, one person is going to get a prize, another person is going to get a prize. Good prizes: humidor and cigars, travel humidor and cigars. The grand prize also gets the lighter and a bunch of cool swag. I think there's some caps in there, some knives, some other goodies. All right. So that was, again, a combination of all of us that are working together, because we wanted to have something cool to give to the folks that support us, that enjoy the products, that enjoy cigars, that enjoy talking about cigars. And, listen to folks like me who go on and on in their garage about cigars, and guys like Ethan who know every little thing. I mean, you have to watch out for Ethan. If you see him at a store, guys, you're in Texas or Arkansas, or, as a matter of fact, Purple Lady was she lives out in Arkansas. This is the guy I was wondering if you were, what shop you were at, because I knew he was going to be up in that neck of the woods. At any rate, you have to be careful. Ethan will start talking about dirt and all kinds of weird stuff like that about how they grow tobacco. So just I always tell, pump the brakes, leave the dirt talk to Rocky, and let's get at least to the plant stage. So, wealth of information. And so I want to say thank you for Ethan for spending the evening with us, telling us about some of the factories, which I think is really intriguing, that so many different factories are used to produce the Gurkha products, as well as what is really the life of being on the road and being a rep. And I would say that, based on my experience with the different reps and different cigar companies, pretty normal kind of experience here. I think he has a really good gig at Gurkha as far as sales for cigars go. So, in fact, I think he's got one of the upper tier jobs. So, thank you, Ethan, for spending the time and talking with my audience and speaking with them about all these interesting facts, answering some questions. Everyone, thank you for joining tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Another great show. Again, going to have those prizes. Please like and follow me and Gurkha Cigars, even if you don't enter. Try to like as many of my foes as you have time. And, it's been a lot of fun. And I really look forward to see who wins those two prizes, right? So it's going to be two different people, all right? Two different people. One person will win the grand prize, which is the humidor cigars, and the other person will win a travel humidor with 10 cigars. I'm going to be out some big money for shipping this week, but hey, that's what I do for my supporters. I appreciate it. So everyone, keep the questions coming through direct message. I really appreciate your time. I try to get back to you as many of you as possible and as quickly as I can. I really enjoy the support. Thank you so much. Gurkha Cigars, I know, thanks you for your support and your trying their different products, everything from the Gurkha Ghost from PDR to the Nicaragua series from Aganorsa, the Sindicato Cigars, those beautiful, beautiful cigars, as well as everything in between, those elite Cellar Reserves in that lineup from largely Cuevas and ACC. So check them out. If you have any questions about products, message me, message Ethan. Other than that, everyone stay smoky, stay safe, keep those questions coming, and hammer out.